We're live. I'm bored. I just got done parking for the night. Today was kind of a stressful day. If you saw the video earlier this morning, um, trying to get to my channel here. Just be patient with me if anybody shows up. Um, yeah, so my boost sensor went out, and that really sucked. Evening, Nevada. How you doing, man? Just thought I'd get on here real quick, brother. And I'm bored. Had a rough couple of days, to be honest with you. I got back from my ice fishing trip, and every mistake that I could make, I made. What I mean by that is, when I parked my truck, I parked my truck for 9 days. I did not turn my APU on. I didn't have anybody go check on my truck or start it for me when I was out of town. And we had very, very cold weather in Minnesota. So the last day I was at home before I went ice fishing, I had ran the truck. I left my house, drove to the truck, shut the truck off, and didn't shut my batteries off. And I left every light on in the truck. So needless to say, yesterday, when I go to my truck to fire it up, my batteries are completely dead. I have no power in the truck. Talk about a rookie move, right? So where I park has a shop. So they let me plug in. So I also don't have a plug-in where I park. They don't allow me to plug in. But they did yesterday, so I plugged my truck in for about 3 hours, the engine block, let it warm up, and then we had to put 2 jump boxes on it. And sorry, Nevada, hold on. Let's have a vlog off challenge, keep each other motivated. Bro, I can't compete with you, man. You have way more talent in that than I do right now. I will do vlogs every day, but they're not going to be at your caliber, bro. You've kind of like set the bar even higher. You know, I'm not going to drop names, but I do watch your channel a lot, and there's a couple other big YouTubers I watch, and like your opening dude is dope. And I don't know how you get that music. I'm trying to figure that out. But anyways, so I had to get my truck jumped yesterday before I could go pick up this delivery. So that took, I don't know, maybe 4 hours. Finally get the truck started, get to my delivery, get down the road, and my boost, I don't have any pressure. I have no power in my truck. So I look at my boost gauge, and I'm not building any boost. This is after I'm already loaded. So I forget what time it was. It was maybe about 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night. And I'm kind of freaking out, to be honest with you. I can't even make it up little hills on I-90. I had absolutely no power. I think I had like 1 or 2 horses running, if you know what I mean. Sorry, these are coming up here. I'll get to the comments here in a minute. I just want to tell this story. So I end up finding a Mack Volvo dealership about 15 minutes away from where I was when I pulled over to figure out what was going on with my truck. I have this tool right here, this Otr Performance Tool. And what it does is it lets you kind of run codes, it'll let you clear codes, it'll let you do all kinds of things. So I read the code, I cleared it, I thought maybe I could get back on the highway. I tried it, it didn't work. So I pulled into a Mack dealership that was already closed, spent the night there last night, woke up early this morning, and they got me in, and they replaced the boost sensor. And I had them also change out my fuel filters just because I had sat for so long. It was cold weather. But anyways, Nevada, I'll get to your comments here real quick if my other phone fires up. But yeah, so it's just been kind of a crazy couple of days. Do a video on that scanner. I'm reading it right there. Yeah, I plan on it. So yeah, last couple of days have just kind of sucked. So I finally parked for the night. I am currently, I'll make, so needless to say, they had to change my appointment. I was supposed to deliver tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. I couldn't make that delivery. I had over 1,000 miles to go in one day, basically. So I couldn't make that, so I contacted the broker. Broker changed the appointment till Thursday for me, which means I had to cancel my back haul back to Minnesota from Pennsylvania, which, you know, whatever. That's trucking. I mean, that's going to happen. Let me get some of these comments real quick, Nevada, since you're the only one posting anything, which I kind of get. It's late at night. Do a video on the scanner. I will look into artists on Oh, okay. You know, I kind of I found a couple of sites that'll, like, if you subscribe to the site and pay a fee, like, you can download the music and use the music. So yeah, I'll check into that. But yeah, no, I got 3 people in here. Tell me where you guys are. Nevada, where are you at tonight? You're doing it right on the replay. Yo, yo, yo. Hey, Insult Investor, how's it going, man? Yeah, so I don't know, I did my post trip and I was bored and thought I'd go live. I'm not really tired right now. I have about an hour left on my clock, but where I'm located right now, there's nowhere else for me to park. So I chose to stay here tonight, and I'll wake up tomorrow and finish the trip. So yeah, I don't know. You know, oh shit, Wyoming, Nebraska border, okay. I mean, I know you're from Nevada, obviously. I don't get out that way, man. I'll be honest with you. I don't have the experience yet to head out there. I don't throw chains. I don't really want to throw chains, but I'd like to get out that way in the summertime. You know, I don't want to do it in the winter. I don't think that's right. I just saw a new name in here, so let me get to the comment here real quick. Fueling diesel, Buffalo, finally nice and warm at 21 degrees, was 2 degrees in Albany. Talking about New York, right? Yeah, I go up to that area quite a bit off of, is that I-90 that's up there in Buffalo area? And I'll cut across to like Syracuse and places like that. Let me see if I can give out a wrench here. Add moderator. Yep, I can. So yeah, you know, it's funny, still making some rookie mistakes. Like I said, not shutting my batteries off, leaving lights on my truck for a week. What did I expect, right? But it got taken care of. It's handled. I'm back on the road. Feels good to be back on the road. Man, rates are still booming, which is awesome. I was kind of scared they weren't gonna be, you know. So it's nice to see rates are still there. Hey, Nevada, if you're in here for a minute, can I ask you a question, man? And if you want to answer it, cool. If not, I get it. I have a question for you, though, or maybe I can email you. You have your email in your channel, right? Yeah, so Green APU has battery charger. So does the Thermo King. Problem is, you gotta turn the son of a bitch on for it to work, which I did not do. So, like I said, man, I made some rookie mistakes. Solar panel on the roof for batteries. Oh, that's kind of a good idea. Does it charge enough? Can you get enough? Yeah, I'll email you, Nevada. I got a question for you. Um, and how can I say this? Like, I saw you in somebody else's live today, and they were talking about trucks and stuff like that, and truck prices. And I would obviously you have a beautiful truck. I mean, I'll come right out and say that you have a very, very nice truck, Nevada. Um, I want to know what made you get that truck. I'll email you if you don't mind. If that's okay, I'll email you. Yeah, sorry, I'm looking at some comments. The Insult Investor, yeah, it's just a 25-watt one, and it trickle charges all four. Oh, okay. So great on the load. Virginia to Kansas for, yeah, rates are booming, and actually I have a couple of friends that ask me why I chose to run reefer, right? I wanted the challenge. Nevada, there's gotta be more of that, man, because never mind, man. I'm gonna email you. I'm gonna email you. But yeah, I got a lot of friends that ask me why I haul reefer. Not a lot, I'll be honest. It's like four of my trucking friends that I kind of came up in trucking with. And the reality of why I like to haul reefer freight and why I pull a reefer trailer is the area I live in. The area I live in, everything in the wintertime coming there needs to be warm, like unless it's, ice cream or frozen goods. But like even your shampoos, your soaps, everything is temperature controlled in the area I live in. And there is a lot of farming in the area I live in. Not really in the metro area. I think I've made it pretty clear. I live in Minnesota. But you get right outside the metro area, and that's all it is agricultural, produce, cattle, chickens, pork. I mean, so reefer made sense for me because of the area I live in. Probably the biggest downside that I deal with, and all this, I mean, all of us truckers deal with this, is just the hours, man. Some of these appointment times are just ridiculous, and then you gotta make sure you have enough time to drop off early in the morning or late at night and then try and reload in the same time frame, but we all deal with that. I don't necessarily think one type of hauling is any easier or any harder than the other one, except flatbed. I did flatbed for a very long time, and I hope I never have to do that again. That was just too much. I'm still young, but it was just too much work. I got tired of doing it. Granted, we unloaded our own trucks. We had cranes and stuff, but I don't want to ever do flatbed again. Unless somebody just pays me a ridiculous amount of money, then maybe I'll think about it. But, yeah, I'll look at some of these comments here real quick. Nevada, I wanted the challenge. Yeah, I'm going to send you my email. Oh, Nevada's saying hi. Anyways, I'm surprised I pulled 5 people, to be honest with you. Like I said, I was just bored tonight. I don't have much of a drive ahead of me tomorrow. I still have, I got probably 9 hours, 8.5 hours to do tomorrow, and then I'll be at my receiver, which I don't deliver until Thursday at 6, but I can stay there. You keep doing this. Somebody that knows YouTube better than me, tell me how I get the comments off the screen here. Because, to be honest with you, they get distracting. I look at this and I'm trying to, articulate myself, and then I see something pop up. Let me see what you were saying, though, Nevada. You keep this live up, I'll share it out. Oh, man. You don't have to do that, Nevada. Because I don't know how long I can talk for, to be honest with you. It just gets, just don't look. But see, I'm looking right now. Yeah, I know. I got to learn how to, maybe it's the, well, what do you call that? I have to look past it. You're right. But that's hard for me because I like reading comments. I mean, call me a dork even when I'm in other people's lives. You know what? I stumbled across a channel and I think somebody, well, I think it was you, Nevada, or somebody shared a link out to this SoCal trucker. And you know, my YouTube like watch lists and the people I watch isn't huge. So I had never watched him before, and you know what? The last couple of days his lives have been really, really good. And I find them really interesting, and to hear about these truck prices, that's why I want to email you, Nevada, is absolutely crazy. I actually feel kind of sad for people that want to maybe live out their dream of being an owner operator and the stuff they have to deal with right now. I mean, everybody can make their own decision. Everybody, you know, you might make a good one, you might make a bad one, but it just seems like the chips are stacked against you immediately. And that kind of puts a sour taste in my mouth for a couple of reasons. A, let's say you just get out of truck driving school and you have a dream of getting your own authority, which we can argue if that's a good thing or not a good thing right out of school, but that's for another day. But then you have to buy a piece of equipment that's $250,000 or $200,000, $180,000, and it has 500,000 miles on it. That, in my mind, is, it seems like it puts you behind the eight ball, you know? I mean, I can't imagine, sorry I keep saying your name, man, but you're in here. I can't imagine what your truck would go for, like, right now. I mean, that you've shared what you paid for your truck, and I can't imagine what that thing would be right now. But yeah, that's SoCal. Gone trucking. SoCal is my buddy. That's probably a really good buddy to have, to be honest with you. He seems like a really smart guy. Yeah, right? That drive, look, sorry, came on the screen again. Yeah, dry van prices, prices of everything are just through the roof right now. And I know we're all making money and we're all doing good, so I'm not going to read it. But still, I look at some of these prices of things, and you know, I think we all kind of have aspirations of wanting to step up, wanting to level up in life. I think I can only speak for myself, but that's why I chose to become an owner operator, is I felt like it could level me up in life. And when I look at prices of things now, or how I want to maybe expand my business, the prices are keeping me from doing that. I don't want the risk. The risk versus reward on some things just don't make sense to me right now. And maybe you're better off, you know, holding your chips instead of continuing, you know, just check the bet. Keep checking the bet until your hand is forced to slide in some chips. But you know, I think about all this stuff, and it scares me, to be honest with you. But you know, I'm in my lane, I'm doing what I want to do, I'm good. I know there's a lot of other people out there that are doing better than I am, and you know, we'll survive what's ever thrown at us. That's one thing, you know what I'll say about YouTube right now. Whether you're a guy or gal that is okay, I mean no disrespect when I say like flexing, right? Or when I say balling out of control. I don't mean disrespect from that, because there's things I do now in my life that I didn't do 13 months ago. You know what I mean? That I spend money on that I never would have spent money on 13 months ago. But I'm also a very cheap human being. So we're all able to kind of live this really cool lifestyle right now. And I hope it stays that way, because I think for so long, trucking was like undervalued, you know, and I think the value is kind of coming. But with that, all these prices of everything that we need to stay afloat and everything we need to survive is just increasing. And eventually, you know, how much is going to be left on the table? You know, and whatever. I know I'm talking nonsense. Let me get to a couple of comments here. Click the comment button. They will go off. See, dude? Oh, is that this button? I think that's this button right here. Alright. Whatever. It's a scam. Truck payment is crazy. No need to be paying for something that you will never own 8 out of 10 times. Yeah, I agree with that. I really agree with that. Evening, Sterling. How's it going, man? I do agree with that. And it's, you know, it kind of sucks, though, too. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I should go out and buy myself the frickin' truck I want. Or the ice house I want. Because I'm certainly not going to buy any piece of trucking equipment right now, even though I want to. I just don't feel comfortable doing it, you know, and it's different than when I purchased this truck. Now, y'all know how I purchased this truck, I think. If you don't, I can explain it again. But this truck, when I look at last year and I look at the first, 12 months, if I could find another truck, even two, like I currently drive right now, for right around the same price as what I paid for this, maybe even 10 grand more, I would jump on it, to be honest with you. I'd buy them and maybe try and lease them out to somebody, or maybe put a couple of drivers in them, or hang on to them, but I can't. When I look at trucks equivalent to what I drive, the prices that they are today, I probably wouldn't have gotten into it, to be honest with you. And that sucks, because there are so many guys and girls that are like me that just want the opportunity. Well, that opportunity is, hard to come by now. When you hear, like I said, that SoCal guy, SoCal Trucking, I hope I'm getting that right. When he was calling, what he did was he was calling dealerships, and the amount of money they wanted down, and there was one company that you had to show for 3 months you had $80,000 in the bank. That's freaking ridiculous. I mean, they wanted $80,000 in the bank and like $70-some thousand down. That is crazy in my mind. Now, I'm sure there's lots of guys and girls that can afford to do that. I'm not one of those people, but I don't view that as a wise business decision, if you know what I mean. Nevada, these must be some of your people, man. Flatbetter Rick. We'll make a moderator. There we go. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't really have a lot to talk about tonight. Like I said, I was just bored. Wanted to get on here. Plus, I gotta stay relevant in YouTube. I don't know, man. I really don't know. I'm puzzled at just how easy it seems to come out here and do well. And yet, the minute you're doing well, you need to go buy a dry van, like Nevada said earlier, for almost $100,000. That's just... You know who it makes me have respect for? It makes me have respect for the fleet owners that are out there. The guys that are willing to put their names on the side of the truck and continue to purchase equipment, continue to give contractors an opportunity. I give big props to those guys and girls that are doing that, because they're taking such a huge risk. And you know, I mean, I haul for a small carrier, and I know that he's always trying to level up and trying to get new equipment and trying to get better equipment. And you know, I give those people lots and lots of props. And the guys and girls that are running their own numbers and might have one truck and trailer, like, man, there's so much that's out of your control in this industry. So much that's out of your control. And yet we all gamble, we all take the ride. I don't care if you're an owner operator or a company guy. There is so much that is out of your control, and yet here we go. We're like buckled in for the ride, you know. But I think that's why I like trucking. I think that's why I've always come back to this driver's seat, is the ride, man, the experience. The learning experience. Like I've shared before, I don't ever get complacent. I think complacency in life is like a major downfall for people. Every time you become complacent, at least for me, if people become complacent and think that today is going to be the same as tomorrow, that's when those rude awakenings happen. You know what I mean? So I think that's why I like trucking, because every day is different, and I'm just in it for the ride, man. Yeah, let me get to a couple of comments. I don't even know where I left off. Let's start with this. The insult investor. I got my truck for a trade that I had less... Okay. I got my truck for a trade that I had less than 3,000 used, but I don't drive for money yet. Maybe one day. Don't drive for money yet. What are you driving for? Like, I'm not being rude. What do you mean by that? You're not driving for money. I've always driven for money. I even did DoorDash, man. Like, I used to this is a funny story. I used to do DoorDash, right? Not because I had my full-time job, and the way that my full-time job was is I had days off during the week, right? So I'd wake up and I'd be bored and I'd go do DoorDash. And I was figuring out my rate per mile doing DoorDash. And which, believe it or not, man, if you're in the right market, DoorDash can be very, very profitable. I was kind of surprised at how well it was. Nevada, my carrier is looking for trucks. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, man. Think about these people spending this money, man, and like putting their faith in the driver that they're hiring to drive the truck, or leasing that truck to somebody, you know, and hoping that they don't just turn around and destroy the equipment and walk away. You got to give props to those people. Flatbetter Rick, just wanted to pop in, say hi, subscribe, and give you a thumbs up. Got to hit the sack, fellas. Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Nevada, I think that came from you, so thank you. I got it for me to use for my stuff. Oh, cool, man. You know, the guy, I used to know a pastor that had a semi, and he, gosh, what type of plates did he have? It was same type of plates you would put on like an RV, recreational vehicle. he had recreational vehicle plates on his semi and trailer, and it was to move like all of his stuff because he was like this moving minister guy. And yeah, so cool. That's cool. You got the truck for yourself. I asked an Uber driver what her rate per mile was. She was like, "What?" Yeah, but you know what? That's because this is what we do, bro. This is what we do. This is, as stupid as it sounds, whether you're a male or a female, this is what's running through our blood. So we're looking at anytime we turn the key and got to move. I don't care if it's our truck, our personal vehicle. You know, how much we gonna make? How much we gonna make on this? You know that's because for lack of a better term, man, trucking's all about hustling. I mean, that's what it is. And how good are you at it? You know? And the reality is some are better than others, you know? Hey, good night, Nevada, man. Take it easy. Thank you. For real. But yeah, like I said earlier, I don't have much to say tonight. I actually said more than I was going to. No, I'm pretty impressed with everything I've been seeing lately. Seeing new channels, guys and girls talking about things that are relevant to our industry, and I think people, I would never steer anybody away from doing what they want to do. However, really think about it and think, is it worth going all in? Play it like blackjack, or play it like poker, man. If you're holding two aces and you got all the money, well then yeah. But if you don't and you're betting, king two offsuit, maybe think about it, I'm going to give out some wrenches here real quick. DJ Ad, what's up, man? Just everybody that comes in here is going to get one. With both feet. Hi all, just jumped in for a bit. We'll catch the replay. Well, thanks a lot, With Both Feet. No, whatever. Just keep giving people wrenches. I don't care. I don't care. But, anyways, I don't know really what else to say. I'm just kind of bored. I should probably go to bed, get something to eat. So, I really appreciate everybody coming in here tonight. If you haven't already, if you don't mind, hit the thumbs up for me. If you're new, first time stopping in here, I'm not a big YouTube channel. I'm trying to put out content. Like I said, if you're new to this channel, I've been an owner operator for 12 months. Things have been very successful for me. And I'm just trying to vlog my days and then give out some information that I think is relevant and might help the next person. How did you get your truck? Are you talking to me, Nevada? I'll just assume you're talking to me because I didn't read any other comments. Let me look at some comments, see if you're talking to me. Oh yeah, DJ had my truck. It was a boost sensor. My boost sensor went out and they just put a new one in for me, and I had my fuel filters replaced because my truck sat for 9 days in like minus 20 degrees, so I had them change out fuel filters. Okay, Nevada, if this question was to me, I bought my truck through the carrier that I'm leased onto. I think you guys all know I'm leased on to DIY Semi. I'll give a quick synopsis of this. A lot of you have already heard it, so I apologize if you've already heard this. So I made a decision about, I'll say roughly 3 years ago. It was longer than that, but 3 years ago is when I really made the decision that I wanted to be an owner-operator. I felt like that was the only way for me to feel like what I chose for a career path was right for me. So I actually had a bunch of money I saved for 5 years. I did a lot of research. I was thinking about purchasing a truck, and then I stumbled upon Cash is King. Cash is King and I talked a couple of times. He referred me to DIY Semi, and I told DIY Semi that I was thinking about purchasing these two trucks. One was a Pro Star, and one was a Kenworth T680. And at that time, DIY Semi had the Mac that I'm currently in. He made me an offer on this truck that I would have been a fool to turn down. So I took his offer on this truck and purchased this truck through him. You can call it a lease purchase, but it really wasn't a lease purchase. It was just a purchase. And yeah, I gave him his money back in 8 months. He gave me 3 years to pay it off, and I paid it off in 8 months. So that's how I got this truck. I've had no major issues with this truck. The things that have gone wrong with this truck are expected to go wrong. I'm now pushing like 560,000 miles. I've put on about 125,000 since I purchased it, and it's a 2015. Is it ideal? No, it's not ideal. But I would be hard pressed to say it was not the best investment I've ever made in my life, next to my house. Those two investments are probably the best investments I've ever made in my life. This truck and my house. And I would steer people towards, I know it's probably not like the sexiest thing to say, but I would tell people, hey, take a look at Mac. I mean, they're still reasonable. They're not in the price range I would have wanted. Yes, MP8 motor. I think it's 445 horsepower, 1,700 pounds of torque, which is fine for me. It works for me. The cool thing, I will say this. So I've driven, not 389s, but I have driven Peterbilts, Kenworth, Freightliner, and Internationals in my driving career, spanning 20 years. This truck, by far, is the most powerful truck I've ever had. Now, that's not because of the horsepower, it's because of the torque. And the way that Mac is your torque is to the pavement. It's not to the drive, it's right to the pavement. So, and this has got an M-drive transmission in it. So you do hit the D for drive. You can call it an automatic, but what it is a automated manual transmission. So I don't have a clutch, but inside the transmission there's a clutch. Yeah, I don't know. It's been a great truck for me. Someday I'm gonna level up. I really like the new Anthems. Since you asked, your brother's got a beautiful truck. I want the limited blacked out series. I think that'd be cool if I could afford it. Let me get to one of these comments. We want to see some ice fishing videos when you get time. God bless. God bless you too, man. And I don't know when I'm going to fish again. That was my first time ice fishing in a year. Hopefully it happens sooner than that. I know the guys I went ice fishing with, they have 2 more trips planned going up to Lake of the Woods. Well, one to Lake of the Woods, one to Upper Red Lake. I'd like to go on one of them, but I should probably make money, you know. Yeah, dude, sorry. See, I get distracted. Nevada, you said you'd look good in an International Lone Star. I like those trucks, man. I do like those trucks. They're badass looking. Yeah, I know you're a truck, man. I don't know. The reality is, though, too, like, I'm a penny pincher, so I like fuel economy. Mac isn't the best for that. Their new Anthems with I think it's an HP or HD MP8 motor. Supposedly, they're competing with the Freightliners to get better fuel mileage. I've heard of guys getting upwards of like 10 miles a gallon loaded. I don't know if that's accurate or not because I don't own one. But I might get a Freightliner just to get the fuel economy. I'm one of those guys. If I can save $100-200 a month, I like to do that. Like I said, I'm a cheap human being. My wife and I, we don't argue about that. She just makes fun of me because I'm cheap. Really? You get sorry, see, I did it again, guys. I'm horrible at this. I'll read a couple of comments here. Nevada's, you're like tearing up the chat, which is cool. I have no problem with that. May plan to sell it around 300, 400. He's ordering a W900. Your brother, huh? Is going to order a W900. So you really can get 7.5 miles a gallon at 62 miles an hour. You want to hear something funny, bro? I drive between 62 and 65 miles an hour 90% of the time. So if you're really, that shocks me. If you want to be honest, that shocks me. I thought your truck was more like a 5.5 miles per gallon, to be honest with you. Maybe 6. Then again, it also depends on how much weight we're hauling, and there's a lot into it. I'm not, like I said, man, you got a beautiful truck. I'm not hating on anybody's truck. I'm just talking like what makes sense for me. And I'm so cheap. It's ridiculous. And but you know what? I think being cheap has like taught me the importance of and the value of everything that I've worked for. There has to be an end game. So if I'm cheap now, maybe in 10 years I don't have to be. Who knows? Everything could backfire. All my plans could just go away in smoke. That's life. That could happen tonight, tomorrow. But the thing is, like I stated earlier about some of the stuff I see on YouTube, like the flexing and balling out of control, which I'm like, I say that because it's not who I am, but that doesn't mean I don't think it's freaking awesome. Like, I think it is. I really think it is. But here's where I'm going to contradict myself. That ice fishing trip. You know what? That cost quite a bit of money. I did things that I wouldn't typically do on that trip. Buying dinners, paying for stuff for my friends, things that I could never afford to do before, I'm able to do. And when I think about that, I think about my daughters and I think about my wife. Those are the 3, and my stepson. Those are the 4 people that, like, I want to lavish with things. I wanted to buy a car over Christmas, right? I wanted to buy a new car, and my wife, God bless her, I'm a lucky man. She's like, no, we're not doing that. We don't need that. And she was right. We don't need it. But I wanted to. I had that itch. When you get that itch and you just want to treat yourself to something that you really never, you never had the opportunity to walk in somewhere and just drop down stacks and be like, I want this. I wanted that instant gratification. And I'm glad she stopped me. I'm glad she pumped the brakes. I'll get to a couple of these comments. I can get, oh, I already read that, 5.6 for third quarter running. It's a lot better than I thought, man. Like, in all honesty, that's a lot better than I thought. Sorry, I started reading without talking out loud. But yeah, no. Hey, I appreciate everybody coming in here. I appreciate the comments. Um, you know, I was going to talk about something here real quick. If you're new to truck driving, right? I was going to make a video about this, but I'm sure a lot of people already have. So I'll just talk about it now because I'd like to hear some of your opinions. There's 6 people in here right now. Let me say this one statement and then give me your opinion. So I like driving at night, right? You know what my biggest pet peeve is at night? Is flashing your high beams at me when I'm passing you. I understand that people are doing that to be courteous. I get it. The problem is you're blinding me. You're blinding me for a split second. Now my truck, like, I can dim my headlights or I can flash all my marker lights, even my marker lights right up here. I have 4 of them and 2 of them will flash. I don't like when people flash their brights at me. It actually, like, I can tell if I can get over. You know what I mean? I have depth perception. I can tell when I need to get over. I don't need you to flash your light bar at me. I don't need you to flash your high beams at me. Like I said, I get it that we're doing it to be courteous. But we're also causing a headache for the person that's trying to, like, move over to that lane. Tell me what your guys and girls thoughts are. I'd be interested, because that's like the biggest pet peeve I have for driving at night. And I like driving at night. And the 4-wheelers, you know, the cars and trucks, they don't know any better. But all of us men and women that are behind this seat, like, we know better. We hate it, but yet we still do it. We flash our lights at people. I don't know. That is a pet peeve of mine, especially for driving at night. Christopher Edwards, I got a button on my KW, turn the lights off. That's common courtesy. Yeah. See, I that's what I think. That's what I do. You're a moderator now. Michael, shut your lights off, not flash them. Yeah. Yeah. See, that's what I think. And yet I get it all the time where they're flashing their high beams at me. And you know what? Like, I think that goes back to, like, lack of experience, lack of training. You know, I read an article today in CDL Life where a driver drove off the road, crashed into a guardrail, was on, like, some really narrow road, and you know what his excuse was? I followed my GPS. Man, like, and maybe this is like the old school in me, because we didn't have GPSs. We didn't even have cell phones when I started driving. I remember the first phone I had as a truck driver was like this big blocked phone, and it was a Nextel, like 2-way radio. That was the first phone that was ever put in a truck that I drove. So we had to read maps. We had to read map books. We had to understand, you know, east, north, east, south, and west. Like, you had to be able to read a map. And I would highly recommend, if you're new to truck driving, or if you're in truck driving school, like, read a map. Learn how to read a map. Doesn't mean that you can't use your GPS. I use my GPS all the time. I'll look it up on my trucker GPS. I'll look it up on Google Maps. But you better believe this right here is something I use all the time. All the time. And I would highly recommend that more people learn how to use it. You know, my daughter is in the ROTC in high school, right? And she is a logistics specialist. So she sets up like all the appointments for when they go to schools and talk about the military and stuff like that, right? And she was telling me a couple of months ago that her commanding officer had her reading maps and trying to determine the quickest way to get from somewhere, which we all know quickest way to get from point A to point B is a straight line. I mean, we all know that from like first grade. But that straight line could have a 12-foot bridge. That straight line could be a one-way. You know what I mean? And I'll be honest, like my trucker GPS messes up sometimes. Google Maps is not designed for trucks. So why not use a book that is designed for truck drivers and has different colors so you know if you can be on or off that road? I just wish more people would pay attention to reading maps, because I don't think that driver's excuse that he told the sheriff after damaging property, wrecking his truck, could have put other people's life in jeopardy. Oh, my GPS, I was following my GPS. That's not a excuse. Like, in my mind, that's not an excuse. I don't want to be mean, but that's just not an excuse. Take the time to like use everything that's available to your advantage, not just one tool. Use all the tools. I think you'd be better off, at least in my mind. I'll get to some of these comments. Nevada, the fact that four-wheeler is even trying to communicate to me respect. Yeah, I do agree with that. Like I said, they don't know any better. If they're not cutting you off and giving you enough room and slowing down, those are the people that I really like, man. I just dealt with that today going through Chicago. 2 people let me merge in, and I was shocked, because that's, especially going through Chicago, it's always gridlock, and they're not usually that nice. So yeah, I do give props to those people. Yeah, Nextel, right, Christopher? Like Nextel, I remember the Nextel radios. That's what I had. What was the fix from earlier? Did you get? Yeah, so my fix earlier, hold on, let me look at your name here, Wayne. The fix earlier was my boost sensor went out. I don't know how they go out, but it went out. So I wasn't building any boost. I had no power. I still got the load on. If you watch the video, I called the broker I emailed the broker right away last night and called the desk, their like 24-hour service desk, and left a voicemail. I communicated, the minute I knew I had a problem, I communicated with the people that I needed to communicate with, and they rescheduled my appointment for Thursday, which, if I look at the rate that they gave me to come out here, I'm supposed to deliver tomorrow morning. Now I'm not delivering till Thursday morning, but it's still, still a great rate to come out here, and it added a day. But you know what? I got my truck fixed. The broker was cool. He completely understood. I've dealt with this guy plenty of times, so he knows I'm not feeding him a line of crap. He knew if I called him and told him I was having mechanical issues, that I was being honest and truthful. Sterling, flashing the lights in the day, cut them at night. Yep, I agree with that. I run a lot of New York City, Jersey, Baltimore, Washington. If you're not using a map, you're going to get yourself into a pickle. Yeah, absolutely. I run Baltimore, I run Jersey. I do not go into New York City. I haven't done that yet. I have in personal cars, but not in a truck. There's other places though too, like Memphis, Tennessee, man. Memphis, Tennessee is notorious for low bridges. And if you're following even my trucker GPS will bring me down places I know I shouldn't be. To say I've never done it would be a lie. Obviously, over the course of 20 years, I've put myself in positions that I should not be in, but I've learned from them. And I see so many people not learn from their mistakes? You know, if you don't learn from your mistakes, you're going to create a pattern of mistakes. And once that pattern is developed, eventually that pattern is going to get worse and worse and worse. You know, that's part of complacency in my mind. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just spewing nonsense. It's fun though. It's better than, you know what? So I got a new, hold on, I'll show you something. Probably gonna have everybody leave. Give me 2 seconds. So my daughter bought me a book for Christmas. So I listen to a lot of podcasts, right? And I happen to listen to like serial killer and like serial killer podcasts. I find them super interesting. So if I wasn't doing this live right now, I'd be reading this book, Serial Killers and Psychopaths. My daughter bought me this book for Christmas, and all it is a bunch of probably 4 or 5 pages depicting what these serial killers did and what these psychopaths did. Go out and get this book. This is a good book. Easy reading too. The print is really big. Yeah, it's a good book. So if I wasn't on YouTube right now, that's probably what I'd be doing, is reading that book. Oh, I get distracted. Let me get to a couple of these comments. If anybody else, I run a lot in New York. Nevada trucking and trails. Those damn New York bridges lie. I went under a 13.4. Your stack didn't hit it? I would check the top of your stack, bro. The only reason I say that is I did that in a Kenworth. There is a bridge in North Minneapolis off of Broadway Avenue that says it's 13.6. And I went underneath it, thought I was fine, thought everything went well. I got back to the yard that night, and I was doing my post trip, and I looked up at my stack, and the entire, well, what is this? Maybe an inch was totally bent. And the further I looked down the pipe, the whole pipe had bent. So yeah, I hit a little bridge. That was years ago, but sorry, Nevada. Me and my wife's favorite podcast, Sword and Sales. You'll thank me later, about killers. Yeah, so gosh, I'm trying to remember the 2 podcasts that talked about serial killers that I really liked. I finished one of them. It was on iHeart. The other one was on Spotify. This was years ago. It's lower now, snow-packed. It was summer. Oh, okay. But yeah, has anybody got a topic that we should freaking chop it up about? Because I'm kind of running out of steam here. I don't know what else to talk about. You know, I just figured, like I said, man, I'm trying to grow a small channel. You know, that I'm not gonna be the flashy guy. I'm not gonna, you know, that's just not my nature. What's your business goals? So that's a great question, because I set business goals real quick. I set business goals when I started this. The problem was I kind of attained them all. And I'm not saying that, because I set myself 3-year business goals when I started this. And I'm not saying that to like toot my own horn or anything like that. The market we're in allowed that for me to happen. So some business goals that I have this year. The biggest business goal is I like I said, I would like to buy my own trailer. I doubt that's gonna happen unless I can find a great deal on one. I have a goal of, sorry, there's a weird guy in front of me. I have a goal of trying to, I don't know how to phrase this, because I need balance. I need balance in my life. I need balance. And I can get steered away very quickly. And what I mean by that is I love what I freaking do. I love this. I have a gypsy soul. My mom is part, like bohemian or whatever, and I I I own my house, right? I would not have a house if I didn't have a wife and kids. I'd be living out of a trash bag. And I'm not saying that like rudely or anything. I'm being honest. Like everything I own, I can fit into a bag and take with me anywhere I want to go. I've worked in the oil fields of North Dakota. I have moved to northern Minnesota on a whim and gone back to my hometown and worked there. Like I have a desire to just like experience things and leave. Like that's my nature. So finding balance. I want to set. So I'll be honest with you. I'll share something that I'm not 100%. It's not that I'm not proud of it. It's that I didn't know any better. I did not pay myself like on a regular basis last year, and that kind of is gonna mess with me a little bit. So I want to set myself up and pay myself once or twice a month. Say it's once a month. Write myself a check once a month or have it deposited into my personal account once a month. That's a goal that I need to do better at. There's so many things that I need to do. Better is the wrong word. I just need to be more proactive in doing things. I did not sit down yet and really write out my 2022 goals because the things that I've achieved, this is going to sound so, I'm not special at all. The things that I've obtained and achieved, I did not expect them to come like, man, my bunk heater's way too hot. Hold on one second. I was thinking of trying to pay cash for a truck or a massive down payment on a truck, and I'm just going to pump the brakes on that. I think, when was it? Back in November, I went to a Mac dealership in North Dakota, and the guy gave me a price on a new Mac. It was like $156,000. And I was like, man, that's obtainable. I'm sure that truck now, and when I was talking to him, he told me it wasn't going to be available until third or fourth quarter of this year. I'm sure that's been pushed out, and I'm sure the price has gone quite a bit higher than that. So I don't know, man. Like I said, I want to get to a point. I think I'm going to try and save as much money as I can so I can help somebody, the cost of a rebuild on that motor. So in Googling, yes, that's just parts though. Labor, no idea. The benefit that I have is if I need to do a rebuild on this motor, which I'll be honest with you, I'm going to probably, because I'm just going to drive the truck until the wheels fall off if equipment stays like this. I know people, and the carrier I'm leased onto, if you know anything about DIY semi, he knows how to do a lot of work, and we have a very good connection with our service people. So I know what the cost is to get the parts to do a rebuild. I looked into that. The other benefit that I have with this truck, so this truck was purchased, what's up, Nomadic Brit? This truck was purchased through the Crete Mac dealerships, and it was one of their lease trucks. Now, I'm not saying this is good or bad. I'm just saying I have the entire lifespan on paper of everything that's been done to this truck. So, like, the maintenance that I've done to this truck is all maintenance that you need to do with a truck that's 6 years old. The water pump, the starter, things that I've replaced in this truck were due for replacement. So that is one benefit that I have with this truck. But like I said, I'm going to do a video on this truck because Nevada, you can attest to this. Like, your brother's cabinets and stuff in his Anthem are, like, I don't have that in this truck. I have shelves that stretch, the entire length of the bunk. I have a couple of little cabinets on the side for, like, my clothes and a little desk. But, like, the storage isn't the greatest in this truck. I don't know why I said that. I just got distracted again. But anyways, rebuild bog. Yeah. See, this vlog stuff's cool, but I just do it in a different way. I can't do it the way that I don't like Nevada. Just because you're in here, Nevada, I'm using your name. I can't do it like you. There's other guys, really big channel that he's very good at it as well. I'm not that way. I still get nervous when I got my phone out sometimes and people are around me and I'm talking, I don't have a top bunk, bro. This is one bunk. One bunk. I'll do a video on the truck. I'll show you guys everything on this truck. I only have one bunk. But yeah, the vlogging's cool. I actually like that. And this sounds dumb, but I kind of like it just because, you know what? It's always going to be there. There's going to be a day my kids watch it and think, "Oh, Dad did have a cool job," because they don't think this is very cool, to be honest with you. And like, the guys I went ice fishing with, they all made fun of me. They're like, "Oh, Scott's making movies. He's filming us when we're eating." But you know what? All of them have those videos, and they think it's awesome. Like, they really like it. So I want to keep doing it. And the response, I mean, like I said, I'm a small channel, but like, my videos, if you look at how many views they have for how many people are subscribed to me, like, they're doing really well. So I like doing that. But like, I'm not gonna vlog and talk while I'm driving. Not because I'm told not to or anything like that. It's just because, God forbid, if something happens, I think about those things. And I'm not knocking anybody that does that. You guys make great content. I can't do that. I'm not good at it. So, good evening, everyone. Just got in here. Aaron W., what's up, man? You in Minnesota, Aaron? But, yeah. Aaron, you missed a whole bunch of cool talking. I'm kidding. We're just kind of bullshitting right now, man. It's late night. I got bored. Just outside of Nashville. Oh, okay. You know what? I was going to be in Manchester. Is it Manchester, Tennessee? I was going to be there on Friday. But I had to cancel that load because of my my breakdown last night. So how's that? I'd like to know how you guys think, guys and girls. I'm sorry. You know what? If I say guys, I'm meaning no disrespect to all the female drivers that are out there. I am not like a sexist human being at all. I just always say you guys. I even say it to my daughters. But maybe I should work on that. Breakdowns, minus the major breakdowns, minus like, I've heard rebuilds going up to like $25,000, transmission, minus those things. Any maintenance or anything that I need fixed on this truck, it doesn't scare me. Is that normal? And I'm not saying that like an egotistical thing. I'm saying that like, You know, I take my boost sensor going out, for example. I showed up there. This shop was full. And I walked in there and I was just like, hey, you know, I'm an owner operator. I'm one truck. I'm under a load. Can you please get my truck in? This is what I diagnosed the truck as. Now, I'm not a mechanic, but this is what I'm able to tell you guys. They in turn took that and like got me right in, you know. So, and then I get the bill, and the bill wasn't astronomical, so it didn't scare me. I'll get to a couple of comments. I've seen a couple come on the screen. I know you said something about here, like with the comments. I just don't know how to do it, man. So, Barry, good evening, man. How's it going? I still think the strange to be talking into a phone hands-free. I always wonder if people think I've gone mad, right? Especially when we're like dramatic, you know. You should have cost of rebuild to reserve 2 times if possible. So I don't talk about money. Just because that's my personal thing. That was, God dang. So like you asked me what business goals were. I had dollar amounts set up that I needed to have set aside for major breakdowns. The minute, now once again, this isn't stuff I thought on my own. I have a very good, what I feel is like a very good network of people that have been in this industry a long time. And you know, you can call me whatever you want. You can say I don't think for myself. You can say all that shit you want. You know, the reality is I have mentors, and I grew up an athlete, right? I was a hockey player. There was always people that were better than you, right? You wanted to be the best out there. So you took advice. You listened to your coaches. You listened to the upperclassmen. When I was an 8th grader playing with high school kids, I listened to what they said to get me to the level that I wanted to be at. I look at this as the same thing. So I do agree that you should have a reserve. I do agree you should have a healthy reserve, you know, and I do. I'm not in a position that if I needed to do a major repair that it's going to break me. Is it going to sting? Absolutely. I'd lie to you if I said, oh, I'll drop 50 grand and it's not going to hurt me. Yeah, it would sting. It wouldn't feel good. Hockey, ice fishing. I'm starting to think you're Canadian, eh? So, bro, I grew up not far from Canada. I do not like ketchup and mayonnaise mixed together, though. That's a big Canadian thing. I've been told I have a very thick accent, you know, but if you talk to my mom and dad, they're even worse. It's a lot of don't you knows and oh yeah and hot dish and I don't know. Maybe I've been in the cities too long. Not that the cities is, you know, anything cool, but oh, let me get to a couple of comments here. Click on the screen, Nevada. Click on the screen once the logos pop up. Click on the turn off ice hot. Okay. Hartford Whalers, man, that's old school. That is way old school. I actually have a Whalers hat at home. I was able to find it online like 2 years ago. You know, yeah, I love hockey. Hockey is, oh, I'll try this real quick. Stay with me. So it says, none, hide all chat messages. Oh, I think I did it. But now I'm not, now I'm going to have to really watch this. But yeah, no, I've lost my whole train of thought. What were we talking about? Oh, reserves and having money like saved for, you know, I believe in like having a maintenance account. I know some people don't. I do. I add to it and I take away from it. You know, that's, I believe for me that works for me. You know, Other people, they have their own other ways of doing it, and that's fine. And I do what works for me. You know, I I I know. I shouldn't say that. I have an idea on like what I pay for maintenance in a month. You know, what months I need like my oil changes and stuff. I prepare for all that stuff. I think that's good idea to do. Not Aaron W. 90s wings, yeah, with Fedorov, like, dude, they were unstoppable. They were unstoppable. Hockey Town. Remember they would throw the squids out on the ice? I was a big North Stars fan too, man. North Stars were I remember being like I don't know, I was probably 10, 11 years old. North Stars were dominant. Every year they were, well, 2 years in a row. Didn't they play the Penguins and once was in the Stanley Cup? But yeah, I grew up playing hockey. My dad was a hockey player. So kind of runs in the family. It taught me some things, like honestly, it taught me the value of like teamwork, you know, and that sounds ridiculous, but it's the truth. Taught me the importance of teamwork. Like it was my family outside of my family. I spent a lot of time with them. I was fortunate. I got to travel all around the country playing hockey. As a matter of fact, I got to play hockey in Italy, Germany, Austria, and Sweden. I was pretty fortunate, man. When I look back at that time in my life, I wish I would have appreciated it a little bit more. I think I appreciate every day I get to do this, you know. But yeah, I don't know. Lost my train of thought again. But I don't know. I sometimes wish I'm seeing this more, but I sometimes wish we would all kind of stop hating on each other and like really help one another. Like not like be a union or anything, but like instead of like complaining and bitching about everything, sometimes a simple word to somebody like, hey, try this, can like change that whole person's direction. And I think right now we're in a market and we're in a position where like everybody's, I don't know. I just don't like when people shit on other people, man. Excuse my French. And you know what? Like I said, I know that makes me naive, but I've done this shit for a long time, man. And I could be out here ripping people left and right, and it just makes no sense to me. Not as an owner-operator, because I do not have the knowledge and the experience of being an owner-operator like most of you do. But driving a truck is driving a truck. Operating your truck is operating your truck. I don't care if you're an owner-operator or a company guy. And there's things that we can do to make all of our lives easier. And we should do that a little bit more. But then you heard me bitch about people flashing me with their high beams. That's kind of a thing though. Like maybe we talk about that a little bit. Somebody will watch it. Somebody that's sitting in a classroom waiting to take their test. Obviously they're not being taught that. They're probably being taught, oh, flash them, let them know. No, man, you're blinding me. You know? I don't know. But, no. I think it's about, I got a couple in here. Hardest part of Sterling. Oh, Aaron W. Broughton, Madonna, Cicerelli, right, bro. Dude, Neil Broughton, yeah, dude. Mike Madonna, man, that guy, he was like 18 years old when he joined the NHL back then. You know, he was a young dude. Sorry, Nevada. Sometimes I punch my brother in the face. Doesn't mean I don't love him. I got a little brother too, man. I don't know. My little brother could probably whoop my ass, to be honest with you. That kid is tough as hell, man. Tough as hell. But we've scrapped a couple of times. That was in our younger days. And I remember there was times where I just dominated those. And as he got older, he could work me over without a doubt. Much love to my brother, man. He ain't watching this, but if he was, I got nothing but love for you, bro. Sterling, hardest part of my job is convincing... Oh, sorry, it jumped on me. Hardest part of my job is convincing people how small the country is. Yeah, you know, that's true. That's really true. I look at where I am right now and where I started, right? I'm in the middle of Ohio right now, and I started in southern Minnesota. If you tell somebody, oh yeah, you leave Minnesota and you're going to drive to the middle of Ohio in, you know, we'll say, because of the rate I drive, 9 hours, they would look at you like you're crazy. But the reality is you can get a lot of places in 11 hours. If you're going 60, 65 miles an hour, you can get some miles in and be in one state one day and be across the country a day and a half later. I mean, people just don't realize that. And people don't realize, you know, I've talked about this before, you know, once you get outside of, what is that, Chattanooga, Tennessee, and you get up by, you know where like Tennessee and Georgia hit, and then a little bit south of that you have Alabama. So many people don't know what that country looks like. I was one of those people. And it's freaking beautiful, man. It's gorgeous. Anyways. Christopher, what's crazy? Hartford Whalers leave Connecticut, go to North Carolina the following year and win the Stanley Cup. Yeah. That might happen with the Los Angeles Rams in football, man. I'm glad to see Matthew Stafford being on a winning team, I can tell you that. I got 2 brothers, I'm the middle. So, did you get picked on? You know, like, your parents have 1 kid, like me. I'm the oldest in my family, so, like, I bear the burden of so much crap because I was the first kid. Like, my parents didn't know how to be a parent, so, like, overprotective or didn't do this. And then you have my little brother that, like, they just kind of, like, you know, he kind of got away with everything I couldn't because they had learned the things I was doing weren't that bad. So they didn't need to punish my little brother for the things that they punished me for. You know, that's just how it works. That's family. I'm definitely harder on my oldest daughter than I am on my youngest. And it's because my youngest is my baby, man. They both are. They both look at me and know that they have me wrapped around their finger. You know, that's just the way it is. Hey, take it easy, Nevada. I'm out. DIY. Shouldn't you be sleeping, DIY semi? Yeah, but I can't, bro. I'm going to go to bed pretty soon. Pretty soon. Yeah, oh, talking shit about mom and dad, naughty. No, I'm not talking shit about my mom and dad. It's just talking about life experiences. But I am going to get off now. I do got to go to bed. I'm kind of wound down now. So I appreciate everybody stopping in here. If you haven't already, maybe hit the thumbs up for me. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you for everything you guys, like all the comments you leave on the videos. Thank you for watching the videos. Until next time, you know what it is. Keep on trucking.